Join the team.
Hey team, this is the McGuire Review, and today we're going to be taking a look at a brand new game from Slinky Gibbon Games called Quartermaster Apply Within. Alright, and we are going to do, team, another giveaway. So we're going to have a giveaway on my prototype copy of Quartermaster, which again is almost in a production state from the quality of these components. Box is really good looking. Like, everything here looks great. The artwork looks great, but it's definitely going to change and probably be updated through the Kickstarter. But you will win my version of the prototype of Quartermaster. Hit that subscribe button, comment below. Once the Kickstarter on this one is over, Bear will hit the button of fate, and one lucky team member will be selected, and the game will be shipped to you. It's open worldwide. It'll be shipped to you for free. You can start playing this right away and don't have to wait for that Kickstarter delivery. Okay? That's how we're going to do it. That's how we do it on this team. Now, this is a pretty cool little game. It is a 1 to 4 players, so you can solo this, which is pretty cool. Ages 10 plus, and it is a 10 to 20 minute game. So this one you can get through pretty quickly, and I like that. You can play a couple games, few games, back to back. You can play it in different ways. Again, there is the solo version as well as you can play with multiple people and then add these things called Stevies. That's what these dice up here are for. Or you can just play with each, each real person. Like, it'd be like Bear and me and Smokey. Well, I guess Bear and Smokey really aren't people, but you get the point. Okay, everything that we do see here is complete prototype, although this prototype is in a really, really high quality, almost production form. But this is a prototype. We are going to be seeing this come to Kickstarter here at the end of April. I do suggest checking this one out. I have had a lot of fun with this. My family, we've been playing this. We've all had a lot of fun with this. So I do suggest this game, and I do recommend it. It is very simple in the way that it plays out. The rule set is incredibly simplistic. We're going to go through those mechanics real quick, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how gameplay works out. So our book here, very small. I mean, obviously you got a super small form factor here, which is great for travel, and I would recommend this as one of my sort of traveling solo type games. It's pretty fun. Rule set, pretty small here. Got a few pictures. It's mainly text. There's really not much here. It's a very simple game. Nice little quick play game guide on the back of that. We do have a little felt bag that's got some wooden cubes in it, and these are going to be the cubes that you're going to be using to build your gadgets as you are playing this game. And they come in various different colors. You'll see here we've got white, orange, purple, and black. Those are our 4 different types of parts that will go on our gadgets. Okay, so you will start the game by taking those and putting them all in the bag, because you'll be kind of randomly drawing those out over the course of the game to see what you get. You do have 3 dice here. This is only used for when you want to add bots to the game, or if you want to play the game from a solo perspective, you would use these dice. And essentially, it just indicates what happens for those fake bot players that they call Stevies. And this is a die that will indicate which level of the research building you are actually on when it is one of those Stevies turns, okay? So that's all the dice is going to be used for. There is a little intern that you can acquire on the game. This is kind of like a worker placement, so you will be able to place your worker on one of these tiles and take an action on your turn. One of these actually allow you to gain the intern, which upon that next turn, you would essentially have 2 workers that you would be able to place and take actions. So that is a very powerful spot if you're able to get that intern. We do have the Eddy tokens. These are used to negate anytime a player would want to take a part of your gadget or swap a part of your gadget or kind of mess up what you're trying to secretly build and do. This Eddy token is going to help you stop them doing that. So essentially you would flip that token, and if it landed on this red side, you would lose and that action would take place. If it landed on the green side, you would block that, and then you would cash in your Eddy token, and that would be so that would be what you would use that for. If it landed on the red side, you don't have to cash it in. You can just kind of keep it, and hopefully it works for you another day. These tokens here, called the wing tiles, These will attach onto our main rooms. We'll show that here when we do the build out of the board. Then you will have the auditor's station, which helps kind of the timer of the overall game. It will sort of move down the board and block various rooms as it moves down. Once it moves off the board, game over. Then you have your headquarters, which is going to offer spots to gain the Eddie tokens as well as the intern. And it does give you some options of things that you can take when it's your turn. Okay, so let's set up the game and we'll get right into kind of how it plays out. We'll put our solo dice up here because we won't need those. We'll put these up here because we will need them over the course of the game. And then we'll set up the track right here. So we've got our 4 players. And it is pretty cool. You do get a little nice wooden meeple that matches the color of the player. And then you get this little ID tag here, which I thought was pretty neat. It says MI 4.2. And they all say that, and it says rank Quartermaster ID, and then it has a unique number at the bottom. So it's kind of like, you know, the badge that your player would have, or your secret agent as you're trying to build out your various different gadgets. And then you can add optionally, and I do suggest you do this, you can add little accessories to your gadgets, and that's what these here are. So this is how this is going to work. Let's say we're playing the 4-player game. We would take these lab tiles and we would shuffle them up. And then every player would get 2 of these lab tiles that they can pick from. Now they're only going to keep 1 of them. So each player is going to turn them over, and secretly, you're going to keep this a secret, you're going to look at these tiles. And what you'll see on these tiles on the back side is the blueprint. And this right here is essentially the gadget that you want to be building. So you want to pull cubes over the course of the game and get them, 1, in this shape that's shown here, and 2, you want to try to get as many of those colors in the right spot as what it shows here. And there's a very simple score track that's on the other side of this tile that's going to show you what these symbols here will give you point-wise at the end of the game, and it will show you what the 4 different colors, white, orange, purple, and black, are each worth. Black being the classy, which is 5, purple being 3 points, orange being 2 points, and white being 1 point. Now those will be modified based on if you get those in the right spot within your gadget, if you get all of the shape of your gadget, and if you're able to get accessories that are part of your gadget. So the first thing the players are obviously going to do is they're going to look at the backside of these cards secretly, and they're going to look at their gadget. Well, the yellow player here got the X-ray monocle and the telescopic briefcase. So I would then decide, well, which one of these do I want? Well, the X-ray monocle has got 2 of the black cubes in it, and those black cubes are worth a lot. 5 points apiece, and if I can get them in the right spot, they're worth 10 points apiece. And it does give me kind of a shape. I've got 3 in a row. I've got kind of the curved. I've got a box. I could potentially pick up an accessory that would fit inside of that gadget as well, because the accessory shape has to fit inside the gadget shape. Now, you may have to do some trade-offs with where the colors are positioned, but if you're able to get the right color combination and shape fit inside your gadget from an accessory, that's worth a lot of points as well. So you're going to have to make that trade-off as a player as you're deciding how you want to build your gadget. So, you know what? I'm going to take the X-ray monocle. And then I'm going to, put that one back. And let's say that every player looks at theirs and says, okay, and I'll do this randomly. I'm going to take that one, and I'm going to take that one, and I'm going to take this one. So now these tiles are going to come back to the center, and they're going to get shuffled up, and we're going to build our board. Now each player knows what they've got, and just so we see, this blue player's got the shoe gun gadget. Green has got the pyrotechnic dive suit. Very awesome. The red player has the umbrella phone, and the yellow player again has the X-ray monocle. And you can see that each one of those gadgets and those shapes that need to be built look totally different. So here's the umbrella phone. Here is the pyrotechnic dive suit. It's kind of an H type symbol. That's pretty cool. And then here is the shoe gun, kind of a stair step sort of symbol. And you can see that each one of those have different color combinations in different spots as well. Now you're going to do the exact same thing. Each player is going to get 2 of these, and then they're going to be able to pick one. So let's say here that we go with the shark pacifier, throw that in. We go with the We'll go with that one. Throw this in. Let's go with the... this is cool. We'll go with that. And then this one, we'll do this one. Okay, so now blue player has got the shoe gun with the tier dispenser Earl Grey. So a tier dispenser accessory as part of their shoe gun gadget. You can see there, same concept. That accessory is worth 7 points at the end if we were able to get 3 oranges in that shape. So it means for the blue player, what they're going to want to probably do, and it can be in any way. So what they're probably going to want to do is they're going to want to make this one, and this one all oranges in that shape, so that accessory fits right into that gadget. They'll get their 7 points. They'll get double points for having that orange where it should be, but they're not going to get the points for the black because they're kind of overriding that, and they're taking that trade-off because it's worth more points to have that set up than it would be to keep it exactly like it is. So that's what you're going to have to be doing as you're playing the game. You're going to have to be making those decisions. The green player has got the knockout dart attachment to the pyrotechnic dive suit. And we'll just go ahead and turn them up like this so we can see all the different features. And then here we've got the umbrella phone with the shark pacifier accessory. And here we got the X-ray monocle with the camera projected camouflage. Very cool. Okay, and we're going to have to figure out how we want to build these. So we're probably going to want to build this one like this, and this one will... Oh, that worked out perfect because we got an orange, a purple, and then it could be anything. So that's going to be a perfect crossbar there for that H. So that worked out really, really well. That player got that. That is going to be a perfect, and we're not losing anything for the green player there. That's going to be great. All right, let's set the board up. So now we have basically this stuff left for us. You're going to start with the headquarters down here, and the first thing you're going to do is you're going to draw a couple random cubes, and you're going to fill the headquarters with a couple random cubes. There we go. Then what you're going to do is you're just going to kind of shuffle these, and then I like to just go from the top of the stack, and just that's the way they land. I don't really kind of look at it, and then I just put them out. Okay, and you're going to build your sort of your building that you're going to be going through. So there's the first room, second room, third room, and fourth room. That's all we're left when we play a 4-player game. You'd have more rooms if you have less people that are playing. You will have more rooms. Okay, and each one of these rooms essentially follows the same structure. You're going to have what it does for you. So for instance, it's going to tell you right there. It's that simple. And this one says you can give 1 part to another player, then draw 3 random parts. And you do have to do these in orders. You take statement by statement, you execute it, and then you go on to the next statement. All right? Every one of these is a little bit different. Like this one, draw 2 random parts. This one, draw 1 part of your choice. All players may rearrange their gadgets. Very powerful, because when you're building this, you put a piece on your gadget. It's like you're strapping the parts together. It has to stay that way until you can have the ability to sort of rearrange it. So you're going to be picking up colors and strapping them to your gadget in ways that may not make sense for what you're ultimately trying to build, but at some point, someone's going to land on that, allowing you to rearrange your gadget, whether that's you or another player. All right, and then at the very bottom, you're just going to have the order that the players are going to go in, and that's going to change round to round, and it just shows right there. You just go right there in that order, and that is the player turn order. This, the auditor's tile, goes on the very top, and it just sits like that where you can still see the player order, and this actually has an ability as well. It does say discard 1 part, then take a part from another player. The headquarters obviously has 3 different things you can do. We talked about that. Grab the Eddie token, get the intern, or you can draw 1 random part and then take one of the 2 parts that are sitting here, then replacing it immediately. So the auditor's tile is going to stay right here, and to start the game, the ballistics lab is now being under audit. So the auditors are there auditing the ballistics lab, and it is closed. Upon the second round of the game, that will move down, and now the ballistics lab is open, and the mecha zoology lab is being audited, and you won't be able to use that. So that's how that mechanic is going to kind of work. Just turn by turn, it's going to move down, and then once it gets to the headquarters, that'll be sort of the last round of the game, and then it'll move off, and game is over. When it does move down to the headquarters, any pieces that are here just kind of get wiped off the board and get put back in the bag. And that's how the game is actually going to work and play out. Now, with 4 players, you will be putting these on the board as well. Now, with 4 players, you would, in fact, not use these wing tiles. I just wanted to bring them out as an example. Really, these wing tiles are going to be used in the solo, 2, and 3-player games. When you get to the 4-player game, you really have to use all these wing tiles to attach them to these rooms, these labs. But I just, for example-wise, wanted to have them out. So what we're going to do is we're just going to use the 4 that are left over, and we're just going to put them on one side to give you a feel for kind of how this works. These wing tiles just simply attach to the side of these labs, and we'll just put this one, right here, okay? So again, call out. This is not the proper setup for a 4-player game. All of these would be filled in, and you wouldn't necessarily use them here. It's really only for the 2- and 3-player games to pull in the accessories for this version of what I have. All right, so let's go ahead and just jump right into gameplay, and we will go to our track here, and it says green player goes first, then yellow, then red, then blue. So we'll go to green, and we'll see what they need to do. Okay, is there anything out here they might need? Yep, there is a white, and there is an orange. I do need that. So why don't we just go ahead and start off our game by green is going to go here, and once a player goes to that spot, that lab room is locked down. Now someone can do this, they can do those wings, but they can't do the actual spot of where someone is already sitting. So for this round, only green can do this, and I'm going to go ahead and take one of those oranges, and I'm going to put it right here to start my gadget, because I do need it there for my blueprint of my gadget, and I do need it on that side for the accessory that I'm adding on. It also says that I can draw one random part and take one of what's there. So, technically I have to do these in order. So the first thing I would do is I'd go to the bag and I would draw one random part, and I got an orange. So that's why you do them in order, because now I wouldn't really need that other orange. Well, I would, because I do have 2 oranges in my overall gadget. I do need a white, though, as well, and there's a lot of whites in the bag, so I'm actually going to go ahead and take another orange, and for now, I'm just going to strap it on right here to my gadget, and I'll have to get that rearranged later in time by landing on that rearrange your gadget area. That would be effectively the end of my turn. It's that simple. It is now the yellow turns. So yellow is going to, actually I forgot to, you got to replenish these when you take them out. Yellow is actually going to make an early game move to try to get some defense. So they're going to go right here to the Eddie token. It says draw one random part. They get to draw a random part, and they got a white. So we will position that white right here, because we do need a white there. So we'll just put it there. Doesn't matter for now. We then will take an Eddie token, and now we've got some defense if someone tries to steal something from us. Let's go now to a red. Red is going to... Red wants to go ahead and pick up some random parts and grab that intern really quick. So we'll go here to red, and our random part is a 1 that we drew. That helps us there for our hidden feature, the shark pacifier. We're going to need that, so let's go ahead and put that there. And then we are going to pick up the intern ID. Now we won't get to use that until the next turn, but once we get to the next turn, then I would have the intern, and I would effectively get to go to 2 different areas and kind of take almost like a double turn. That's the power of the intern. It is now the blue player's turn, and they are going to, let's see, draw one part of your, let's see, the blue player, you know what, the blue player is going to go right here to this wing. It says draw one part of your choice, and the reason is because I have a black cube that's in this shoe gun, and I haven't decided yet how I necessarily want to do my my accessory here that's part of my gadget. So I'm just going to reach in and I'm going to grab one of those black cubes, because the black cubes are pretty rare. Whoops. Bear, get that for me. All right, thank you. The black cubes are rare, so we're going to go in here and we're just going to go ahead and grab one of those and put that out there for our start of our gadget. All right, and that now everyone has taken their turn. They've all placed on the board. The round is now effectively over. Now what happens is everybody sort of comes home after a long day of work, and you pull all of your players back home, and now the player that has the temporary pass would also say, hey, intern, coming home with me. for the evening. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but that's what happens. And now the auditor station would move down. Okay, and now this area is being audited, and the ballistics lab is now available for us to work at. Okay, and that's how simple each round is going to work. So over the course of the game, you're going to continue to land on tiles. You're going to continue to draw cubes and build out your gadget the way that your gadget should look, trying to get as many of these cubes in the right order, in the right combination, so you can have the highest point total when you're done with the game. And that's what it's essentially going to look at. You will pretty much use all of these cubes by the end of the game, so it is kind of a rush to get as many cubes as you can that are of the right color and in the right shape. So when you're done, and I'm not really looking at the, well, this one worked out here as far as the right shape, but when you're done with the game, you want the right shape. Now, if you do have any that are off, that are not part of the shape, those just don't count for any points. So at the end of the game, however it looks, you're going to want to peel off anything that isn't part of your natural shape of your gadget, and then go through and count up where everything is and the point value of how that worked. Hopefully you're able to get your accessory within your gadget. All right, that's how the game is going to win. Highest point total is going to take the win of the game. Now, when it comes to a solo version of the game, you're going to have kind of the same setup, but every time it's one of the bots' turns, or like a fake player, they call them the Stevies, you're just going to essentially roll dice, and that's going to tell you, well, this Stevie goes to level 1, and they get to draw 2 random items, and then they get to discard, and that's what this one means, discard an item from a gadget. So you're just going to play that out. This character, the Stevies, the bots, they will never try to get cubes in a certain order, and they will never try to get cubes in a certain combination. They will just gain cubes. And at the end of the game, every single one of their cubes is worth double what it should be worth. So it's really a race against ensuring that you're focusing on getting as much point value as you can, trying to build your shape and your accessory, versus all the other bots gaining cubes and basically getting double the points for each one of their cubes. I will say that the game, from a solo perspective, I have found is fairly easy if you only have like 1 or 2 Stevies. Every Stevie that you add increases the difficulty of the solo experience. So I would recommend definitely playing with a full loadout of Stevies. I feel like that's the best solo experience, because it definitely makes it the most challenging solo experience, and I feel like it really balances it the best way for a solo experience. For me, you know, based on my gameplays, I felt like a full loadout of Stevies was really the best balance against the solo player. But, however, I like the fact where they don't just lock it in. You can add as many Stevies as you want and adjust that level of difficulty. So that's good. And I feel like it is still balanced. You're just going to have to find your right mix for how many Stevies you want on the board, going up to 3, obviously, if you're going to play this game from a solo perspective. But still very, very fun, and I still felt like it was a challenge with a full loadout of Stevies, trying to get what I needed to get based on these Stevies just sort of sucking up parts over the course of the game. So, very, very cool game, very fun. This is going to be hitting Kickstarter at the end of April, so it is coming up pretty soon. And don't forget about that giveaway, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Bear's going to hit the button of fate at the end of the Kickstarter once this ends, and one lucky team member, subscriber, will get my copy of the prototype of Quartermaster from Slinky Gibbon Games. So hit that like, click the subscribe below to join the team. Keep rolling them crits. This has been the McGuire Review, and I'll see you next time. Bear, let's roll.